Today we're heading way back to 2020 to see the closet makeover that almost took my confidence away before I even had any. I seriously wasn't sure I was going to make it through those drawers. Be sure to hit save so you have this video when you're ready to build your closet. Once you decide on the basic design for your closet, tape it on the wall. This will give you a good idea of heights and where everything will lay out. I know it can be scary, but you have to remove the baseboard for a custom look. I used 3/4 inch sanded plywood for this project. Back then it was like $80 a sheet. I think it's much less now. You don't need a table saw for this project. Get yourself a circular saw and a Craig rip cut and you'll be good to go. After your pieces are cut, it's time for pocket holes. Read the instructions every time. Don't be me. Even now, I still make mistakes and put my holes on the wrong side. This part of the build is really just a big puzzle. Once your pocket holes are drilled and your pieces are cut, you just go ahead and assemble depending on how high you want your shelves. You always want to use wood glue, even when you're using pocket holes, and use a clamp. I'm telling you, it's so much easier than trying to use your legs. At this point, I moved the tower upstairs just to make sure everything was lined up and fitting where I wanted it. I added these 1x2s to the back of the unit on the top and the middle. This allows me to attach it to the studs in the wall and make sure it's very secure. The shelves on either side of the tower are super easy. 1x2s drilled into the studs will support them. You want to make sure that you can fit your nail gun inside the closet to get that face frame on. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. I, of course, found this out the hard way, so I had to take the shelf out, attach the face frame, and then reinstall the shelf. This was about March. Then I took 3 months off because the drawers gave me so much anxiety that I decided I would just put it off forever. But you don't need to do that. Drawers are just boxes. So again, you cut your pieces, you drill your pocket holes, and you go ahead and put your box together. There are so many different ways to build a box. I went with the easiest way. I knew I wasn't going to have anything super heavy in these. I used a thin plywood piece and I glued and nailed it to the bottom of the box. Next up were the drawer slides. You have to take the drawer slide apart in order to install it. They do come with instructions. You want to put a spacer in there if you went with this face frame style that will bump out your drawer slide to make sure that your drawers sit flush. When I went through my old videos, I did not have many videos of this, probably because it took me so long and I was so frustrated. Once the drawers are in, you want to add the fronts. I used playing cards to space these out evenly, and then I just shot in a nail or two so I could pull it out and screw it in properly from the inside of the drawer. Before painting, take a little extra time, go through and caulk your seams. This is going to make such a difference when you go to paint. Because this was 2020, every video I have is at like warp speed, but you definitely want to use a primer. Don't just paint the raw wood like I did. It was one of my first projects and it took me 6 months, but it was the most beautiful closet ever. If you enjoyed this video and want more tutorials, be sure to save it and let me know in the comments what you want to see next.